Man, this is like going back in time for real. But this is the truth behind the beef with Daz versus Michel'le. You know, that Michel'le, Suge Knight, and Death Row. Now, as we look into this situation further, we're looking at the situation from the wrong point of view. We looking at it as whoever's talking, that's who we believe. And that's how the situations normally play out. I go over all the elements in the story and then let people make their own decision as to what's what. Okay, when Daz first came over, he came in basically a package deal with Snoop. Him and Corrupt, the Dog Pound. Once Corrupt left, Corrupt was the first one to leave ship. When Corrupt left and went over to the East Coast, he was unhappy about some money. Naturally, they always about some money and everything else, and they got into it with Pac, and he was like, you know what, man, F this, I'm gone. I'm going with my baby, I'm moving, I sold my dogs, I'm gone. So Corrupt left. Daz was like, man, you know what? I might be leaving too because there's some bull. He got into it with Suge a couple of times. They have arguments and what have you. They used to always play fight and wrestle and do all that stuff. Now, once that's said and done, nobody's really going nowhere, basically, until Pac. Once Pac died, that's when everybody's like maneuvering and it's like it's time to go. Corrupt already that left before that even happened. So he's already in Philly. Now, you got Dre, and you got Dre was already gone. Dre shook the spot. So Dre was gone. I think, did Corrupt leave before Dre left? I think, yeah, Dre left, then Corrupt. My fault. Dre was gone, Corrupt gone. Snoop is still there with Daz. So Daz do Snoop's album. Okay, Snoop album didn't turn out to do what they thought it was going to do with the dog father and all that. So Snoop is looking like, man, this ain't working. Like, I got to shake the spot. Like I'm thinking about leaving. And when he get up and make his move to leave, Daz is like, yeah, man, I'm going to be up too. Like, man, I ain't finna be with this because this is not a nonsense going on. And I can't get things done the way I want to get done. Because they holding me back and they making all the decisions. And what happened is Michel'le was put in charge. And she was running the company. And Daz didn't like that because Daz was used to doing what Daz wanted to do. Daz would come there and do this and that, and then Michel'le was like, well, we're not doing that, we doing this. And Daz would be like, man, for real? Who put you in charge?
Well, Suge told me that I'm going to be executive producer, so you got to do as I say, Daz. If not, I'm going to tell Reggie.
Man, I don't care about no Reggie. Daz always talk like he going to bed. Like, man, for real? Nah, I ain't care about no Reggie. So next thing you know, Daz is upset because Daz had all these plans on things he had wanted to do with his album, and he was recording all these songs. So anyway, he was getting ready to leave, and then Snoop had his little run in at the Universal Studio, and next thing you know, Daz is like, you know what, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna stick this one out. So Daz is there, his wife, she was there a lot. Maria, Mimi, she was there all the time, hanging around, this and that, doing what she do. Now, here's the kicker. Daz and his wife, he got a shorty with his wife and all this stuff, and what have you. His wife is known. Suge knows his wife and everything else. Daz is working on his album nonstop. He's producing songs. He's doing all this stuff, and he's got access to all this stuff in the studio. Then he put out his album, The Revenge, Get Back, that album. Now the album was so-so. Sorry, I'm choking to death. But the album was so-so. But the gem on the album that ended up being the hit of all hits was Oh No. Oh No was that monster for me. Oh no. Tripping on you the way I feel tonight. So you better back your girl. Oh no. So Oh No was my song. But anyway, besides that, the album, it really didn't do that much. So Michel'le wouldn't release the budget for them to make the video. That Daz was like, man, I want to make a video for my song. We getting these spins. Man, I need a video to back it up. She was like,
no, well, I talked to the Suge and I talked to them and they said that they're not going to release any more money for your album.
So once that happened, he's livid. He going under FUB and blah, 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 this and that. And see, his plan was, because he had access to all these songs with Tupac that he produced. He had all these songs. Man, I got songs with Pac and all this, man. I was going to put them all on there. We got these Machiavellian diligence. And they was like, look, man. They had a meeting, a talk with Daz. They told him, like, look, your album ain't moving because people don't want to hear you as a solo artist. And as the company, we want you to remain the producer. You're a great producer. We don't mind you. Just stay here and get paid as a producer. He want to be an individual rap star. Like, no, I want to be like Snoop. They was like, fool, you're going to be producing the records. You're going to be getting paid more money than the damn rappers. But Daz wanted to be the face of everything. You know, Daz. Yeah, Daz, my turn. So once he saw this wasn't finna go that way, and then they was like, you know what? Tell him to send me the Tupac reels, because this dude talking about he finna put out some Machiavellian diligence 1 through 4, volume 4. We ain't finna let him screw up Tupac's music. Tell him to send me the reels. So Dad sent them fake reels and then sent them all over. And then he got the real reels and he took them to his own. And he left and never came back. This ignited a whole big mess. Because now he got all Tupac reels. All the songs he didn't did with Tupac, and probably songs he didn't do with Tupac, he got copies of. So, Daz's wife allegedly gets a call. She's in contact with Suge. And then she goes ahead and makes a move to go ahead and get the reels. They tell her where the reels were, and she brought them back to death row. They told her what the reels were while Daz was asleep or gone somewhere. She got the reels, loaded them up, and brought them back to death row. And they gave her a check for like $70,000. Then there was the big breakup because allegedly she was involved with Suge, and Suge was claiming Spank was his son and all this stuff. Even though Suge never said this, his affiliates did. It was on the song called Y'all Hoes by The Rope, which is on YouTube. You can play that and listen to it. And allegedly, Daz asked for a paternity suit No one to get a paternity test, and then he immediately filed for divorce. Not to say that that's not his child. This allegedly is what happened in the situation. And the songs that he had, the ones that he was giving out to 50 Cent and everybody else, and those, he has some songs already on some type of PC he got, but he ain't got all the songs that he had before, because Death Row got the hold of those back, and you've been hearing them over the past few years. Other than that, he would have been releasing those Machiavellian Diligence. So now, for what he has, he's just going to sell those verses and make money off of them. Some he might have on this new Tupac album that's coming out. But that's what this beef is really about with Michel'le. That's why he's still holding this grudge with Michel'le. He won a $25 million lawsuit against Death Row, too. You know, so he didn't collect that money. Of course, he didn't get $25 million. But he should be okay. Meaning, like, he got something out of the deal. And then, you know, he could produce, and he did get money for it, for the songs and some of the work he did. Like, he did Doggy Style, the whole Snoop album, but Dre got album credits for it. And they talked Daz out of it because he was mad Dre was getting all the credit. And him and Dre went in there, had a talk, and they cut him some checks or whatever, like, we gonna pay you for the, you know, the songs. And then he was like, all right. So they went and paid him for the songs. And whatever money it was, of course it wasn't a nickel compared to the amount of money Doggy Style brought in. So, you know, poor business decisions, but they were children at the time. So I'm quite sure a lot of them have expanded their education since then, and their knowledge base have grown. And we'll take it from there. But right now, let's leave it at that. We'll move forward and see what, you know, comes later. I'm out.